I have been feeling really tired today, but I feel pretty jazzed that we're hanging out tonight.
Yes, rubber duck engineering.
Hello,
It's
welcome to
happening.
Rubber Duck Engineering. Yes, I am excited. We had an exhausting week, as the world has witnessed, because Flutter had our big event for the year. Which
The event was beautiful. I watched it. It was like very well produced, like interesting stuff.
The team just crushed it. So that was fun, but exhausting. A lot of replying to Reddit and Hacker News threads was in my past. How about you?
My whole Twitter feed all blew up with like, Eric Seidel replies to some random person with some random comment. I was like, "Oh, this is like."
Well, yeah. You don't see the camera stuff behind me, although you may recognize my backdrop. But I just tore down the camera equipment, and I at the end of it all, at the end of dealing with all the camera stuff all day, I finally pulled out my Twitter phone and I refreshed it. It said 900 new tweets. I was just like, I can't do this.
Your Twitter has melted.
My Twitter melted. And in fact, I got through about half of them, and then I quit the app somehow because sometimes they run out of memory. And I came back, and so I had lost my place, and it wouldn't let me go down all the way. So I missed some of the 900 tweets, but whatever. Anyways, wonderful to see you, Dr. Barth. What are we doing for those just tuning in?
We are working on the Pangram game. So last episode we got to like a minimally viable, minimally playable game. But it was a board that had only a single word. And so if you tried to guess any word that wasn't that, then it got mad at you. And as soon as you guessed that word, victory, it put you onto the next board, which was exactly the same as the board you just did.
Mm-hmm. I realized I did not set up my control board. So,
I see. Yes, I think our goal for this episode is we got a word list off the internet, and we want to try to generate a bunch of, or maybe all, the valid Pangram boards from that word list. Mm-hmm. And then for bonus points, maybe integrate that with the front end, so then you can play more than just the one game that has the fade word.
Yeah, I would like us to walk away with an MVP where you can play, buy yourself away from the computer. I did a little bit over the weekend. My kid was out of the house, and so I set up Firebase hosting for us. So the viewers have not yet seen, but I published our thing to the web. And so,
are you going to reveal the URL, or is that like a secret?
Well, that was why I had to change to the other thing so I could share this screen and whatever.
Oh, okay.
Broadcasting is hard. I will. One final lesson that I learned from the whole setting up the fancy pants setup that the Google team, the Google video team did a fantastic job of. I never want to do that again. I never want to fuck with a fancy DSLR. Oh, it was such a pain.
But it's so beautiful.
It was beautiful in the end. But I'd much rather go to someone's studio where they have futzed with the DSLR than trying to, makeshift my own in my study here. Okay, but I have buttons I can push. Like,
what do the buttons do?
Oh, you never know. Sometimes they do all sorts of things.
Daddy.
You. Hold on.
So this is the code that Eric wrote over the weekend, which is a little bit small. When he comes back, we'll get him to embiggen it so that we can see. But we were just looking at it before the show. It's sort of a skeleton for generating the boards, but I think it needs a little bit of work to make it actually go. We cannot hear you, Eric. You're muted.
Oh, yeah. It turns out you can't hear me when I mute. Yes, in my brief hacking session this weekend, in addition to pushing to Firebase, I also got this rolling. But now that we're here,
okay, I was wondering if you wanted to walk us through this sort of code that you've written.
Sure. I was actually gonna pull up well, whatever. I'll pull it up later. The publish to the web, but we'll do that in a minute. So yes, this is the code that I've written. The purpose of the code is to generate all possible boards. That's what this does. This code isn't actually wired up, so it doesn't have to actually perfectly work. And if you run it at the command line, it will do that with some caveats that I'll show you in a minute. The way that it works is it takes in, if you go down to main here, whoops, I clicked run, which is not what I meant, but if you go to main, it takes this word list that was available on the web, it pulls it down, it builds a word list class out of it, and then it hands it to the server. The server has one method. Who knows what that just did? The server has one method, which is all boards. And this all boards takes the word lists and its letter clusters, and for every cluster, it tries each different possible center and makes a board out of it. And you can see I forgot to actually attach the words into the board, so this won't actually work. But otherwise, I believe it. I otherwise believe it works, and I can explain how the rest of it works. But it's again like 50 lines of code here, but it takes this word list. It figures out what the legal words are, because there's, I think Pangram also may exclude the letter S as a legal word, and all words have to be more than 4. And then using some fancy features of modern Dart, there's this new late keyword that I was playing with this weekend because I'd never used it before, where I think it was added for null safety, but it basically makes it so you have accessors that will initialize themselves the first time you use them. So I do that, and then I actually compute the letter clusters. By walking all the words, I get the letters out of them through this really awkward syntax, which is probably not the right way to do it, but it's what I did. And then if I only want to look at possible letter clusters that are exactly 7 letters, because Pangram has a rule where you need to have a word in it that uses all 7 letters. And of course, we couldn't fit more than 7 letters on the board. So then I sort them, and then I add them to these sets. I sort them so that they're unique, right? And I get a set of all of them, and then I walk through and I turn them all into clusters, these letter clusters. And then I walk through the legal words again, split them out into their letters. I walk through the clusters for each word. I check to see if the cluster has all of the letters in that word. So can you make this word from this cluster? And if so, I add it to the clusters. And then I return the clusters. And the clusters are what I use in the all words. Did any of that make sense?
It made sense to me. So I can try to restate it in my own terms. So the first block of code that we're looking at tries to identify legal boards, because it has to have a legal word of exactly 7 letters. And then it goes and collects up all of the words that then belong to that board.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, these are like legal letter sets. Yeah, maybe boards is a fine word. And then it tries to collect up. So the catch is that these aren't actually boards yet, because you haven't chosen which letter is center, which is done here. And the little bit of code that was missing here, you see I don't actually stick the words in, but this is just as simple as cluster dot letter, no, dot words dot where word dot contains.
That makes sense.
I think that maybe the true list here. There you go. So yeah, I missed my one line of code here. And then, as I said, I ran out of time, or my kid came back, or who knows what. But I didn't finish this. But with this all boards, and I also taught Board how to spit out JSON over the weekend, because I'd also never played with the modern quote unquote the code generated style of doing JSON for Dart. So I played with that this weekend.
Do you want to show us that?
Sure. That is in board.dart. So I split this out into its own file and added JSON annotation. added this JSON serializable annotation, and then you have to put in this gobbledygook. It's slightly magic. It calls this specially named variables, which I think the $signs are just legal identifiers. I think it's just by pattern that they use $sign in this, but I don't actually know. So don't quote me on that. And then this board g.dart is auto-generated. You can see it's really tiny because there's very little to this one. But I just wanted some JSON serialization in case we chose to write all the boards out to a file, because that was probably what the next line of code. So like, in fact, literally we could just add to this server.dart, literally just add file boards.json dot. I never remember this syntax. Or is there like a quick way to write? I never.
You're trying to serialize the whole list of boards into the file?
Yeah. Remember this off the top of your head? From the file, I should be able. Right.
You're trying to like write the string to it or something?
1 second.
Let's see. So I think he's trying to find some kind of function that will write JSON. There's a file. I don't remember exactly. I can jump the definition here. Take a look at what operations we have on file. So I'm going to look at that on my screen. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see the documentation as I look at it. I'm looking at the documentation for file.
Okay.
You're looking for a function that writes like a string?
Yeah, I just don't remember. If we just look at JSON serializable, it'll also probably tell us. Write to file. I'm sure it has like an example. JSON literal annotation. I have no idea what that means. Whatever. There's like a toJSON function. How do you get this done?
There's write as string. Is that what you're looking for?
Well, I was just looking at an example for. Here's the JSON literal. I didn't quite get through. I'm sure others watching this have like used this because this is a common way to deal with JSON for Flutter, but I just haven't done this in a long time.
Can you articulate the problem that you're trying to solve?
I'm trying to write boards out to this, right? But how do I get the JSON from this boards?
Because you have a list of them. Is that the issue?
Well, does my board.dart? It doesn't produce a string.
Oh.
But
it produces like it produces like a deserialized JSON object. You're looking for like a there's JSON dot encode. Is that what you're looking for?
Sure. Right, JSON dart. Dart convert JSON serializable.
This file. So we need to import dart.io.
Somebody
we
said
need to import dart convert as well in order to get this JSON object.
Somebody said to me this week that it was amusing to watch me attempt to write Flutter because they had just assumed that I knew how all of Flutter works. And it was like, no.
Yeah, I feel like this happens a lot where people assume that you know lots of things, but I don't know anything. I just try to like fight through it just like anybody else.
Generate code.
I think this is going to work. Like the analyzer seemed happy. I think we should try to find a smaller case for this. Like instead of doing all thousands and thousands of boards that this is going to make, like could we reduce the test case somehow? Like,
I mean, I can just start it running. It'll just take like a minute or something. It takes a little bit, but as I was saying to you in the pre-show, this code right here is what takes all the time, which makes sense, right? You're walking 32,000 words or something in the legal words.
Yeah, that's like the n squared of it. Yeah, I was wondering, like maybe we should stop after making 10 boards or something, and then it'll be 100,000 times faster. Why don't we just do that? Why don't we just say up here at the top, after we found if letter sets length is greater than n.
Okay, that'll help. I
think I'll just make it like many thousands of times faster, quite literally.
See if I know how to stop a.
Use Control-C it. Is there a
well, sometimes Control-C works on Windows and sometimes it doesn't.
Oh,
and I'm sure people are listening to this and being like, well, this is what you do on Windows. Well, I have this Windows machine, or I bought this Windows machine to play games on with my kid. And that is all I used it for prior to the pandemic. And the pandemic
I feel like Windows has gotten itself in this odd mode where it's like not even really Windows anymore. It's like a strange hybrid of Windows.
Oh, yeah. Linux. Here we go.
Okay. Well, that was many thousands of times faster. It's not a commandlet. It's like slow down.
Okay, where are we going?
This is the boards.json.
Oh,
it was in your file list. If you just scroll down to the bottom, it's in green.
It's in green. Okay.
Okay.
I want pretty print, but sure.
I mean, that may be an option when we call JSON encode.
This looks beautiful. I mean, it's like looks like it works. Like this one right here.
Okay. So should we try to load up these 10 in the UI and try to play them? And I feel like 10 boards is enough to get started with. We don't have to generate like hundreds of thousands of boards quite yet.
I think
I see. Because the word list is in alphabetical order, or like they're all going to be about aardvarks. That's
sort of. It's remember though, it's going to find the first word that happens to use all 7 letters, so it won't necessarily be aardvarks.
I just saw Ard something in there. Ard wolf. Maybe aardvark doesn't have quite enough letters. This file already is quite long.
Well, we talked about this a little bit in the pre-show. There's all sorts of layers that we can apply onto this. I'm of the belief that you don't need a human editor in order to find a good pangram. I think there are enough heuristics that we could build to find really good pangrams with just like some word lists. But some pangrams, have 1,000 answers, and some have like this one right here. Looks like it has like 20. Maybe not 20. But look at this. Valid words. That's really short. And I don't know whether that would be easy or hard. Like, I do not know what an aardwolf is. So I think that would stop me from ever creating this pen.
All these boards are about aardwolves, because aardwolf is where it's
Aardwolf was the...
It was the key, one of the first 10 valid. I think we should just wire it up to the UI, and then we can do the editorial
oh my goodness.
optimization.
Like, are you going to know what Osvogel is?
I mean, yes.
Okay,
don't you know?
I think so. We could make this fancier later, like where we write it out. But I think if we move this to like the web package.
Oh, it's like an asset, like an image or something.
Yeah, or maybe it's an asset. I don't actually know.
I think if you put it right there next to index.html, we should be able to get it from the web server.
Good question. For performance reasons, symbol documents. Okay. It has more than 5,000 items.
Oh, yeah,
all right. Okay, great. So let's go to our code. Main.dart. And
we can confusingly have another thing called server.
Well, that was sort of the idea, is that I was...
You're trying to like make them the same. Yeah, that's a good dream. I like it.
I appreciate your support of my dream. I read this thing about to be a good manager or life partner, you need to honor each other's dreams, or you have to like honor your report's dreams, or
I feel like there's so much negativity in the world. You might as well be positive. Like it'll just balance out the universe.
Okay, so this silly server that we have
looks like it's about line 245.
is, thank you. 245. Yes, here we go. So next board looks a bit like.
Yeah.
But really what this needs to do is this needs like HTTP. So we need to open HTTP if we don't have it already. Import package HTTP as HTTP. Why not?
Maybe we need to add it to our postspec or something.
But I totally did that already. Oh, that's why. I always think that that's all you need, but you really need the full path for the like entry point of the package. So
yeah, I feel like so many Dart packages just repeat their package name as the library name, which I guess is easy to remember, but it feels redundant.
Yeah. It's funny, AppKit does this too, now that I think about it. Like in Cocoa, when I think in UIKit. Maybe they fixed this in Swift, but you like import framework, import appkit / appkit.h.
Mm-hmm. Can we use your cool like late trick here again? Like,
oh man,
final.
Oh man. Well, I don't know if that plays with async.
Oh.
I think late, because I think we actually want.
Yeah.
You want http.get board.json.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then there's like this is like a response, right? I wrote some HTTP code this week, so I know what this is supposed to look like, sort of. I even asked Twitter, and then I had to facepalm because it was so obvious. I just had not read the manual. Response. HTTP get, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we want the body. Response.text. It's like body text or just body.
I'm going to import Dart convert at the top because I feel like you're going to need it here in a second.
Oh, you're totally right.
I did it for you.
And then how the heck do I get this out? Same way we got it in.
All right, we want JSON.decode.
Let me see what you actually did here.
This should give us a list.
You did JSON, yeah. Uh-huh. How do I get this thing? Oh, it thinks I'm running. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Many of your like all boards is map.
Oh, I see. Because that. Because when you do JSON.
Okay.
JSON. All right, that makes sense.
Encoded is not right, but like this is
So, and then you expect this to be a list of board.
Yeah, I mean, I need the to list thing here to listify it.
You don't need it there. Wrong.
Oh, wrong place. It's mad about this JSON board from JSON thing. I totally didn't spell it right. Less capitals.
String cannot be assigned to URI. Okay, so URI.parse. Is it like a URI.relative?
Presumably. Parse may take that into account because the base, like URI knows about the base URI is like a static.
All right, I'm going to press the run button and see what the heck it does.
Well, we should probably do something with this all boards. We could print it out or we could pick a random one.
Is that what hot reload is for? No, but yes.
Ah, we have a comment. Which is
a comment from the peoples. Oh, yeah, I'm also excited about Flutter 2. The commenter suggests that they are excited about Flutter 2, as am I.
It's still mad about the. Do you have analyzer errors on your side? No. Okay, great. I picked the 0th board just to see what that would do. But
so okay, there. I don't know why it took so long. It was just loading all the JavaScript. I'm gonna reload it.
Is there a place that we can see the errors, like the debug console? Like,
good question. List board, but got one of type list dynamic.
oh, I see.
This is map board. Is that what you want?
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
It should have yelled about that. Like, why is that a dynamic? Also,
right.
this doesn't return anything.
All right, maybe we should return something. Maybe that was part of the issue.
We could also just make it return, like we could just do this if we want to be fancy.
Oh, and no semicolon. Boom.
Boom. Oh, in fact, what are we doing here?
Oh, they're like generalized tear-offs now?
Or are they not? Was that not a feature of Dart when you were?
No, for a while you had to put like a funny pound sign on it or something.
What? Oh, maybe it isn't.
Because it's a constructor. It's not a
Oh.
It's a factory. It's not a real.
It's not a real function.
Well, you maybe try with a crazy pound sign. Sometimes the crazy pound sign.
Where does the pound sign go?
I don't know. All right, never mind about the pound sign.
Are you sure pound sign was Dart? I don't remember.
It might have been some other language. It's very possible.
I mean, the real truth is that, like, when I worked on the project, I worked on the engine much more than I ever did the framework. Like when I used to type code.
Oh, this to do reminds me of hit testing within the polygon. I know how to do that now. But anyway, let's keep going before we get distracted by that.
All right, here we go.
Oh, put the Aardwolf in.
Ard? Is it too?
Yes, Aardwolf. We did it.
That's amazing.
Good luck winning this Pangram.
But we have loading boards. This is so. One of the things the New York Times does is it gives you this meter of like how far you've gone.
Well, we know how many words there are. We could print that out like as part of the UI.
We also got a comment that suggests that we should try the Godot game engine, and I totally agree that we should try the Godot game engine. We were doing Unity, but we were doing Unity, but I think it would be fun to try a different game engine as well. You were saying, Adam?
Well, I think we know how many valid words there are. We could try.
Yeah, we could
display that somewhere.
I also really want to move the board list away, or like put a.
Yeah, I feel like we need to apply some visual design to this.
Where is it? We show.
Can we do the hit testing thing? I'm super jazzed about the hit testing thing.
Okay.
Yes. What line is that? Line 62?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the key to this is, so here's our hexagon painter, if you remember from last episode. So this thing constructs a path, and the key is we want to save the path.
Yes. So we read a bug about this set method, and we decided that this was like a design error that you may have in fact coded.
I undoubtedly did.
It's a design error because it doesn't give you the size. So it's really hard to do hit testing when your parent sizes you.
Using the awesome Elvis operator, we can solve this problem. So we cache the path when we do the paint. And it turns out paths have a contain method that allow you to pass in a point. So then you can say, is this point within this path that last drawn path? That's a good point.
The generic name was going to bother my soul.
Mm-hmm.
Start complete. All right, so
now, try clicking one of those triangular corners. Yeah, W, any R.
Oh, so good.
Can you get A? Yeah.
Such nice hit testing.
Yeah, so then you get the perfect hit testing. Anyway, I was just so excited that like the solution was quite simple here.
Okay, so so again, our focus is we're trying to get visual design you can play offline. I think, or not a visual design, sorry, an MVP that you can play offline.
I think we should
know, like, how much more we have to do.
I think we need to know how many more words there are. Otherwise, it'd be very frustrating to play. We also probably should not always pick the 0th board.
Sure.
So maybe, I don't know what order you want to tackle these problems in.
Well, let's leave the 0th board for now, because I think really to make this for fun, maybe we'd do more than 10 boards anyways. But
so the found words, maybe we should make it. Maybe we should make the found words widget more elaborate. Right now we only pass in the found words, but maybe we should pass in the board so that it can do things like tell you how many words there are and such.
Oh, sure.
So let's pass in the board to the found words widget. And then the found words widget.
I need to learn to use my F keys. Maybe
want to give this
pattern that we picked up to always use name parameters and always make them required, or not always, but often make them required.
Yeah, I just feel it makes the sort of markup, like code as markup, sort of work.
It makes me feel like we're sort of like trying to write Objective-C a little bit.
I'm sure there's a little bit of
that. It's really not that far from Objective-C. I've now realized.
What color is colored? Like colors. I don't know what a nice color is. Light blue. I don't know, 700. It's like shade 700.
I think you just don't want the semicolon.
Oh, I see. So we can sort of see the word list.
We also could set this up. Does Windows know how to split the screen?
I saw a ghost that looked like it was a split screen. Whoa. If you take away the file list, yeah. Do you want to type in Aardwolf again?
Not the same. What did you say?
Do you want to type in Aardwolf so we can sort of see what's going on here?
AAR. But so remember, web only knows how to hot restart, not hot reload.
I see.
So.
Okay, so we can just replace this text for now with example text. Okay.
Yep. I think that the team is working on hot reload for the web, but I mean, obviously the published version doesn't work yet. We also aren't using exactly Flutter 2, I don't think, yet in this. This is still our dev channel. This is like a dev channel.
There's an analyzer error, multiple analyzer errors, which are causing trouble. So this needs a semicolon.
Undefined name board.
Like widget.board maybe? Oh, there we go. Okay. I think I want a lighter shade, like 200.
Yeah, I think you maybe actually just want like a border box.
Oh, okay. You want to try that?
Yeah. Box decoration. Okay, see, now I'm gonna have to go read. I've ordered a widget in Flutter. Some random person's post. Decoration, my box decoration. Box decoration border all. Okay. Okay, but I want this to be like border color. You're gonna tell me how to give me? Oh, there we go. There is like a sense of, I don't know, it fits in my brain at least. Or like it makes some sense once you get going. Why? Oh, I see. You're giving me analyzer errors.
Oh, sorry. I was actually.
So we need like a min size for this. Can we give container an intrinsic size?
Sure. Just give it a. I think you just give it.
Just a child.
Do you want to put like a? You want to give it a minimum size? Is that what you're going for here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it already has here, but let's give it radius here. Border radius. Okay. Tell me, what are your options? Width, style, solid.
Well, the container documentation is like a giant video at the top of it.
I like interactive and stuff now too, by the way.
You can just give it a constraints. So like you can just give it a box constraints. The container. You can say box constraints in
or whatever. Like it could just expand to be as wide as the board is.
Yeah, you can just say min height. Or do you want width and height?
It's mostly I care about width.
Min width of, I don't know, 100?
Sure.
Min height too. Of
this actually works relatively well. Oh, I did too much Unity. That's why I'm doing all this 5.0 stuff. And we also need some insets. What is that?
I feel like this didn't make these minimum values much bigger so we can tell whether it's working.
Is it padding? Padding at all?
Mm-hmm. Probably 8 pixels of padding. Like there's a whole, like we're sort of recreating some sort of material design thing. Like if we...
Oh, you're right, we probably are. Padding? Oh. I don't even know.
This is a padding.all constructor, I believe.
Didn't seem to be.
Padding has a padding property, which takes inset geometry. So you can say edge insets.all.
I don't remember why. I don't remember why that is. Inset? Edge inset? Edge inset? Why is it edge inset geometry? That doesn't make sense.
Let's see. You got too many paddings here. Edge inset geometry is so you can do RTL. So that this edge insets all is giving you in visual coordinates.
Mm-hmm.
But you could do it in logical coordinates too if you wanted to.
So I don't think you want. So I think you. All right. Well, this is fine. It's not great, but I think it's fine. You'll use it. We'll use it. And okay. So let's try.
Well, I think the width is way too high. I mean, maybe 200 is like a.
Well, I think you kind of want it to be just as wide as the thingy. The
board.
Maybe.
Well, that we can do just by. We don't need to do that layout here. So we get rid of the min width here, and then in the parent, whoever creates this thing is creating a column, right? We can just set the geometry of the column, what is it? The cross-axis.
On web would be nice. It feels super weird that you can scroll by dragging a mouse. It is weird that you can scroll by dragging a mouse. I agree. It's an artifact of just how Flutter works, sort of in two ways. One is that we designed it with mobile in mind from the first. And so when you click, it's like as though your finger was touching it. And then the second is that we do all the scrolling on the same thread as your code, which gives you a lot of control, but is different from how scrolling on like the iPhone or in Chrome works. You were saying, Adam?
I'm trying to make these heights match, the widths match.
Whoa.
Yeah, I said it's a stretch, but I feel like that wasn't quite right.
We could use the fancy inspectory thing. Show me the widget inspector. Why is this thing? Oh, I see your custom.
Well, this is getting at like a flex layout kind of issue. Like the, I don't think we actually want to go this route, because you want to find like the biggest thing and then go back and lay everything else out, which is like an n squared layout kind of.
Let's just set like a min width or whatever as 200 or something and move on with our lives.
Okay, I'll put that back.
Yeah, we got like 19 more minutes.
So you think we can find the 38 words in this puzzle?
I cannot imagine we would. Let's see. There's forward, I think. Oops. There's no delete. Do we need to delete?
Okay. Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's got to be super frustrating to not have a delete.
I don't think the New York Times one does.
Well, we can be better than New York Times.
Hi. So I don't like that the text is the same between the found and the found words.
Oh, okay. So we want to have like some styled text here.
Yeah, I think these should be separate.
Mm-hmm.
Like they also, you have them on separate lines, but it also could be MVP, right? So I also think that the text on these hexagons needs to be bigger.
Oh yeah, that's totally true. Okay, so let's make those bigger. That's easy.
I'm trying to think what else is not playable.
Well, I think it's playable. It's not super ergonomic, right?
Oh, we also don't do actual next board, right? So that we could make.
Right, we're always doing this aardvark board.
Right, which has been fine for testing, but we last board is equal to 0. Well, last board is equal to whatever.
24 looks a little big, maybe 18.
So we need this. This needs to be future list board.
Because you want to cache. You only want to fetch them once and then.
Yeah, I mean, this is a little weird. We sort of wrote this as, yeah, this is all fine. I'll get us going here. Oh yeah! Oh my god, that looks so much better.
I toned it down a little bit. It just hasn't reloaded yet because we still have some analyzer problems.
Sorry, that does make this hard. Like it's hard to hack on both when you.
That's cool.
Get the analyzer.
I just toned it down from 24 point to 18 point.
I actually think that looks pretty good at whatever you have. Also, I think we need a different font.
Oh, we also want to have capitals.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll go back to 24 and I'll make them all capital.
All right, fetch boards. I don't know if this is really the right way to do this.
You kind of want like an ensure kind of pattern, like ensure that the boards have been fetched. Yeah.
It's a little weird. I mean, this is then just like a void then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's going on? Non-nullable must be initialized. Well, that is not in fact true. These are nullable. So cool to have null safety. This then needs to be class. Oh, hold on. So this is like.
You can just pick a random board, right? Like you don't necessarily want to go through them in alphabetical order.
Exactly. Well, I think for next you want. Oh, I see. Okay, I see. Because you might end up going to the.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just imagining a world where there are many, many boards, and so it's very unlikely that.
That's fine. So this is then if all boards not equal to null, or is equal to null, it's not equal to null. Return future dot.
Yeah, this has to return a future of some sort.
Future. Yeah, it's like a future void or whatever.
Yeah, just like future void. Is that how you do it?
Hey. Just future dot value probably.
You probably just say return. You think, right? Like,
I don't know. I feel like it was fighting me. Well, maybe. It looks like Dart's smart enough for that. All right, and then this is all boards. Fetch boards if needed. I mean, we could also just move this out, right? This could just be if null. This then needs to be return future dot value all boards dot.
you don't have to say future dot value. Like it's already async. You have to return all boards.
It was yelling at me this weekend. I had to do future dot value.
Maybe you do that async keyword thing. Yeah, we need to pick a random number from 1 to length of boards.
So it's like random. I actually don't know. Is there like a built-in random that's not already initialized, or do I have to make a new one?
Looks like there's a random class. We need to import dart.math, so I'll do that for you. Oh, it's already imported. Next int.
Something like that. Int board.
From 0 inclusive to max exclusive, which is exactly what you want.
Work?
Yeah, that looks good.
We need to bang this, which would suggest that maybe we have an error in our design.
We need to bang it? What does the bang mean?
Like, yes, it's really not null, I think. Maybe I did that wrong. Okay, link cannot be unconditionally accessed. We have to somehow get this thing.
So you got to put it in a local variable. This is what I learned before. So you got to say, maybe there's a fancier way of doing this.
Oh,
I see. It doesn't know that after. Can you just assert it?
I hope people aren't watching this to learn.
No.
Maybe, but I thought that's what like bang did for you.
Oh, that's what bang did?
I think bang like null checks and throws.
Right. That's where I think you want this to be ensure boards, right?
Yeah. Here.
Ensure board should.
Oh, I see. So it just return. Oh, I like it.
Then you can just say boards.
I see. And so this is then like cached boards.
Yeah, exactly. So we can say if catchboards bang equal to null, then return catchboards. It's like Dart idioms for all of this.
I mean, it's short enough. We could just encase that in a. But yeah, this is fine.
It's still mad here.
Board cannot be method. Yeah, but that needs to be bang here, I think.
Well, but you could probably do it by making a proof here, right? So what if this was just inflated boards? Yeah. One thing we'll do with inflated boards is catch them. The other thing we'll do is return them.
Oh.
I need a var, I think.
But you're still here.
Oh, so this is another thing I don't fully understand. Like, if we put it in a local variable, it'll be smart enough. So we'll say
value cannot be returned from the method because it is a return type. Future boards. Oh, this is the future thing.
Oh, it's the future thing?
This is where I was. Does it have a? So this is where I was having to this weekend do future.value, but maybe that's wrong. That's like a synchronous future. Otherwise, like we're not being async at all. Is Dart supposed to just wrap things in futures for you?
I mean, that depends how the language is designed. It's heavy.
Missing concrete implementation of ensure boards. Oh, that's yeah, whatever. Oh, I'll do it that later. All right, so 0 of 19.
Oh, it's a different board, so that worked. Also has forward in it. Flower, maybe? No. Low is too small, right? It has to be at least 4 letters.
Flow was a word.
Yeah, but it has to be. Oh.
Flow should totally be a valid word.
Okay.
Word generation.
You said words have to be greater than 4 in length.
It should be 4 or greater. Did we screw up?
Yeah, that's a bug in the server side of it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so change that, and then I think we can make this 100.
Okay.
And I think we can make this right as web/boards. And then if we just do this.
707 boards. It's cool.
That probably needs to like rebuild. I don't know what. Because it probably didn't copy it to the build directory, right?
I have no idea. We could have it. We could log how many boards we got.
It's true. I suspect though that how do I run this? I suspect it just. I suspect if we did it as an asset, because at least on the mobile side, Flutter is smart enough to like send your assets down to the phone again when you change them. I think. But we're sort of hacking around the asset system here. Missing concrete implementation. Yeah, we know that. Property length cannot be because receiver is null.
Oh.
We need to figure out what the magic bang or whatever is.
And bang feels like cheating, right? It's like you're insisting that something is not null. The type system should be able to prove it for you.
Yeah, but it's not. The bang just makes it runtime. It doesn't. See, like this is not a useful.
It's too many. We'll be here forever trying to guess up letters.
Also, we want this to be like dice or something. We have like a die. must be like 6-sided die, kind of.
Material icon. Yes. So many icons.
Why do I have a reclined airline seat and not a die?
I think you should go with reclined airline seat. That's totally where it's at. I think you just want to reload, right? The circular or refresh. Yeah.
Sure. What does refresh outline look like? Oh, come on.
You just have an analyzer error, yeah.
Right here, this one.
More parentheses needed.
More parentheses.
There you go.
Oh, are we not? Oh, so there's another button that the New York Times one has that I think we're missing, which is to scramble the letters on the board. It's just it's just to play tricks in your brain. That should be trivial to add. And then I think we have a thing that we can push and we can play. We can try. We can send to the Twitters. All right, so where's the enter key?
So I feel like we have 4 minutes left. Maybe we should not put the scramble button in right now, and we should push and send to the Twitters and declare victory.
Fine. We have 4 minutes left. We will declare it to the deploy. All right. Well, while that's deploying,
it's done. Oh, it's the secret URL. Now you at home can also play Pangrams.
Unintended secret.
That looks like the old version.
Deploy complete.
Maybe you need to like shift reload or something. You may have it cached. No.
Maybe it only deploys like checked in files, like.
Oh, I see. Yeah, why don't we check this in and commit it, push it to the server, push it to GitHub, and then try to deploy it.
Okay. Requires me to GitHub desktop. All right, so I don't know whether we're supposed to have this thing checked in or not, but we do. Okay, so this is. What else do we do here? Oh my goodness. Do we need to check this in?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like a billion. Like, how big is it? Any idea how I see? Oh, Alice will tell me. No. We don't need to. What is that? 3 megs?
3 megs? Well,
3 megs?
We may need to like chop it into pieces or something, or not download all 700 boards.
I mean, really, it needs to be a server, but we're not doing that today.
Okay, I think we should declare victory, and we'll try to get this published at this URL.
Yeah,
and
we will tweet it.
And we'll tweet it out. And anyway, by we I mean Eric. Eric runs. As I said, by we I mean Eric, because you run the Twitter account.
Yeah. Anyways, it was fun. We got far. I guess homework that I would ask is for you to use it and play with it and come with feedback.
Ooh, yes.
I mean you, Dr. Barth, but I also mean the viewers.
The viewers, yes.
2 of you right now. Anyways, this was good. This was fun. It was nice to see you. It was a nice break in my week. The crazy week that is. And I look forward to hacking again next week.
Sounds great. See you next week.
Take care. Good night.